Let's go ahead and get started and open up the doors. And hello, welcome everybody to Daily with Doc, as we're letting the people from the waiting room come in and let their audios connect. I just want to say hello and welcome. Thank you for investing time in yourself to gain information that is not only helpful to your own ears, but will be helpful to those around you. So please, if you are watching us on any of the platforms, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like our page, and share this video. Now, if you're watching, go ahead and put in the comments that you are watching the replay, or if you're here live with us today and watching live, let us know that you are there, where you are watching us from. I know that we have viewers around the world, and I just absolutely love the fact that with the internet and with the way things are set up these days, we can reach anybody and everybody who has one, electricity, and two, internet. So fantastic. I just want to welcome each and every one of you to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, it is my honor and privilege to bring information and formulations and the doctor that actually gave me my life back. So I was in kind of dire straits, doc, and not looking forward to each and every day. In fact, there were days I didn't want to get out of bed because one, I hurt so bad, and two, the depression was just all set in. And folks, if you're struggling with pain, if you're struggling with depression because of situational, chemical imbalance, whatever, when you've got a starving brain, it's harder to get out of. It really is, doc. So for those of you who are invited by somebody else, somebody specifically said, hey, check out this program, call in, log in, however it is that you are watching this program, watching the replay, make sure that you get back with them and let them know that you watched the program, and also let them know what you thought about it. And if you have questions, make sure that you ask them your questions. Dr. Wallach is going to be giving one information about something specific, and then we're going to be going to question and answer. So if you have questions and you are here live with us, make sure that you go to that virtual hand. You can find it in the Zoom menu under reactions, raise virtual hand, or raise hand is what you're looking for. So raise your hand as we are going through. I'm going to be calling on the people who have their hands raised in the order that they were raised. And for those of you who are out on YouTube and Facebook and Rumble and some of the others, my amazing co-hosts are helping monitor those. And as they see questions, then they will raise their hand and ask them for you. So you also are not missing out. But those that are here in the room, they get first priority. Sorry. We just want to make sure that we are reaching people where they're at, and when they show up, they're definitely going to get the attention as long as time permits. So this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. This is a website that has replays from our previous shows. It also has the good foods, bad foods list on it that Dr. Wallach is going to be mentioning many, many times, because folks, you cannot out-supplement a bad diet. And you're going to hear about that today as well. So you'll find that good foods, bad foods list on our website. We also have a sign up for our newsletter. This is available for anybody and everybody. We are sending out a weekly newsletter that goes through and gives the descriptions of the previous week's Zooms so that you can easily find them and share them with others. And we also have a newsletter that's going out or getting put together that's going to share even more in-depth information about health and what you can do to not just manage pain or sickness, but actually find wellness. So without further ado, This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, and it is for educational purposes only. Our products are not meant to treat, diagnose, cure any diseases, but folks, when you give your body what it needs, what it's starving for, which not many of us know, except for those that have been listening to the man, the doctor that we have with us today. But when you figure that out, and then you take action on what the body actually needs, the body itself can do some amazing, amazing things. And I just want to say thank you to those out on YouTube and their nice, sweet comments. So Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc. What do you have to share with us today?
Okay. It never hurts to kind of quickly review some basic things that afflict so many people and then get into the story of the day. So I'm going to do that. Again, I want to talk about osteoporosis and arthritis. And the cost to us for arthritis, just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent it or cure it, just to treat the symptoms, is $626.8 billion a year. Okay, that's just the United States alone. In osteoporosis, when you take the US, Canada, and the European Union, just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent it or cure it, just to treat the symptoms, we spend 6.5 trillion a year for these three populations, okay? And you just take out the US, or 2.3 trillion to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis, then $626.8 billion for arthritis. You're looking at $3 trillion a year we're spending just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis. Okay. Juvenile arthritis, we have 300,000 in the US under the age of 16. That's criminal. That's absolutely criminal. Okay. And in America, you got to be kidding me. All right. Now, I want to jump to osteoporosis of the skull very quickly because it covers 37 different diseases. We do have a book and a CD set called It's All in Your Head. Okay. And it had my favorite picture in it, page 6. I want to go to that if you would, Becca. Page 6. The top picture is that of a normal skull at autopsy. They've taken the top of the skull off. You're looking down on the brain. Yeah, there you go. You see the skull is a quarter of an inch thick. The bottom one is autopsy. They've taken the top of the skull off. You're looking down on the brain, but you notice the skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. What is that? Well, that's scar tissue, connective tissue, osteoporosis, squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and also the spinal cord. Okay, thank you. And so when cranial nerve number 1 gets squeezed because of osteoporosis of the skull, you lose your sense of smell, your olfactory thing. Boy, I just can't, I see that fire over there, I can't smell the smoke. Cranial nerve number 2, optic nerve, okay? You get atrophy of the optic nerve, ONA, optic nerve atrophy, and you begin to lose your vision, okay? You lose your sight. You get, let's see here, glaucoma, which is pressure in the eye. You get macular degeneration, which is the macula where the optic nerve, the optic artery, and optic vein go into the back of the eye. Okay, when the skull squeezes all that complex, you don't get enough blood supply into the back of the eye, so you get macular degeneration. You get glaucoma, the actual temperature, the actual pressure in the eye goes up, and of course they want to do surgery and all that kind of stuff. Is that surgery counted in that $626.8 billion? No, that surgery is not incorporated in that figure. Okay, that's just to treat very simple eye disease. What about getting eyeglasses? They don't count that in either. Okay, all kinds of eye medications, they don't count that in either. Ptosis, cranial nerve number 3. Okay, this is the oculomotor nerves. Okay, helps the pupil respond to the light and lack of light and so forth. Cranial nerve number 4, you get double vision when it gets squeezed by osteoporosis of the skull. You get extreme pain in the eye. Okay, let's see here. Cranial nerve number 5, trigeminal hemorrhage is very common. Extreme pain. Okay, in the sides of the face when the trigeminal nerve gets squeezed, and they want to do surgery and cut nerves and all that kind of stuff. Cranial nerve number 6, when it gets squeezed, you get double vision, strabismus. Cranial nerve number 7 gets squeezed, you get Bell's palsy, and one side of your face will be, okay. And then cranial nerve number 8 gets squeezed, you get tinnitus, ringing in the ear. That's the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve being squeezed. Okay, then you get vertigo, the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve being squeezed. Okay, and if you get both of those happening at the same time, you get what's called Meniere's disease. Okay, that's the 8th cranial nerve. Cranial nerve number 9, which is the glossopharyngeal nerve, it helps you swallow, taste, speech. Your voice changes when it gets squeezed. Okay, gag reflex, all that kind of stuff. Cranial nerve number 10, gastroparesis. Okay, this is extreme pain in the stomach, and doctors want you to believe you have a ulcer in your stomach. Okay, you get hiccups when a branch of that 10th cranial nerve goes off, so the diaphragm gets squeezed. And then, of course, COPD. We're talking about all kinds of pulmonary disease. Okay, but the one that I love is the vagus nerve. Okay, number 10, getting squeezed. And number 1, you can get things like, let's see here, the cranial nerve number 10 goes to the heart. Okay, you can get an irregular heartbeat. It's called atrial fibrillation. Doctors want to anesthetize you, take your heart out of your body, touch it all over with something like a hot bar. Okay, and kill parts of the heart muscle. But it's not a heart issue. It's actually the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed, causing AFib. Also, you can have, let's see here, where your heart rate goes fast. That's tachycardia. That's also the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed. You can have a slow heartbeat, bradycardia. That's also the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed. And this is a big one, the 10th cranial nerve. This is a big one because of the most terrible life-threatening medical treatment is the putting of the hot bars on the heart to try and stop. Okay, they call it ablation, and it has the highest rate of death of any medical treatment. Don't do it. Okay, because it's not a heart issue. Cranial nerve number 11 being squeezed, the loss of the trapezius muscle. You can't lift your arm. Okay, when that gets squeezed. Cranial nerve number 12, atrophy of the tongue. You lose your speech and swallowing. So when you get atrophy of the cranial nerve number 9 and number 12 because the skull is squeezing them, you're really in trouble. Okay, now when the spinal cord you get a squeeze coming out of the foramen magnum, which is a big hole in the back of the skull, which is normally the diameter of about a quarter, gets down to the size of a penny. Okay, there's tremendous pressure on that spinal cord, and you get all kinds of terrible things happening south of the skull, including getting up 2, 3, 5, 8, 10 times a night to urinate. Okay, and this is something I always ask people, how many times you get up at night to urinate, because that will tell me if that spinal cord is being squeezed by the skull. There's 37 different diseases you can get when the skull has osteoporosis, and we're talking about an enormous amount of money and time and misery because doctors just treat it as aging things. They know nothing about it. So we wrote this book, and the CD that goes along with it. Okay, it's all in your head. It's myself, Dr. Milan, and Rebecca. 3 of us put the book and the CD together, and so every family needs one of these. It will save you an enormous amount of unnecessary misery, save you an enormous amount of money, okay? By going through that book before you talk to your doctor about a fast heart rate or an irregular heartbeat, and you have to ask him, well, what about this cranial nerve thing being squeezed? So look at you. Some of them I've had, they tell me that the doctor just throws their charts on the floor and leaves the room. They've never heard of osteoporosis of the skull, and they don't even know how to answer the question, okay? So this is a piece missing in the medical education. So with that said, we're going to jump back here to the beginning. Okay. And we've covered that, we've covered that, we've covered that. Okay. And so what I want to remind people of, these 37 different diseases are very simple nutritional deficiency diseases, easily prevented, easily reversed. So give me 90 days when you have any of these things. Give me 90 days before you start going off for surgery and going to all these doctors, and they're going to give it. When I love it when the 8th cranial nerve is being squeezed, Okay. They give you a hearing aid. They have no earthly idea what's going on there. Okay. And so we have to educate the people first. And then after we educate the people, then we're working hard to educate the doctors, but they don't seem to want to be educated. So over to you, Rebecca.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, I had a couple of questions for you. And one of them, so here out in YouTube, they mentioned that they had heard that there was 10,000 different diseases existing. Okay. So diseases, conditions, deformities, all these different things that I know for like Wallach fibrosis
Yes.
is the same as or similar to, but you actually identified what the cause of it is, where they just were looking at symptoms and then put their name on it. So when you're looking at a disease, Dr. Wallach, you do more than just look at the disease. You look at the things like what he was just talking about with those different cranial nerves and the vagus nerve being squeezed, and then the symptoms that those cause. So yeah, there's quite a few different conditions, diseases that have been labeled. But the nice thing about it, Dr. Wallach, is we don't have to accept that label.
Well, yeah, they label them as autoimmune, where the body's attacking itself, or genetic, so there's a gene missing, and so that's why you have a disease. Neither of those are true. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. There are no autoimmune diseases, none, zero.
Okay, so now with that being said, with there being no genetic transmitted diseases, I have a gentleman that is 78 years old, and I shared this condition with you earlier today, Boutonnière disease or deformity, which is a type of joint damage that happens mostly to the fingers, but can also happen to the toes, and maybe because of an injury or a burn or a cut that can result from rheumatoid arthritis, and the middle joint becomes stuck and the tip of the joint hyperextends. Now, this gentleman, 78 years old, his parents and his siblings have this condition, and they all also, he hasn't passed yet, but his couple of his siblings and his parents have also died from cancer. So if it's not genetic, Dr. Wallach, and all of these people within the same family have these poor health conditions, what is it?
Okay, when you have, and this goes back to something I'm going to get to. Thank you for bringing that up. When you talk about genetic diseases, well, it's genetic. You got 5 people in your family with diabetes. It's genetic. No, they all eat the same foods. They live in the same county. Okay, and type 2 diabetes, which makes up 99% of all the diabetes, type 2 diabetes, it's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease, has nothing to do with genetics, has nothing to do with autoimmune. And so just because there's 3 or 4 or 5 other people in your family that have a disease doesn't mean it's genetic. It means they're eating the same recipe, okay, getting the same deficiency, whether they're 3 counties away or whatever, because plants do not make minerals, okay, and 2/3 of the 90 essential nutrients are minerals. And when it comes to rheumatoid arthritis, which you mentioned, they like to say that's an autoimmune disease. There's 2 things missing. There's 2 things happening when you have rheumatoid arthritis. Number one, you're missing the nutrition that your joints need to maintain healthy joints. Okay, so when a medical doctor treats somebody with rheumatoid arthritis, does he give them the healthy brain and heart pack? Does he give them the healthy bone and joint pack? No, he just gives them pain relievers. Okay, so when you have rheumatoid arthritis, number one, you have a basic underlying nutritional deficiency arthritis, very common nutritional deficiency. But then there's a secondary infection with a family of bacteria called mycoplasmas. Okay, and fortunately, they're susceptible to an antibiotic called minocycline, like the little bait fish, minocycline. And so if you've had rheumatoid arthritis for 1 week, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, ask your doctor for prescription for minocycline for 2 months. And if they won't give it to you, go online and find a couple of doctors who will, and get that minocycline, get on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, and watch what happens in 2 weeks, and 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. Give me 90 days, because your, quote, rheumatoid arthritis, the autoimmune disease, unquote, will go away, because it's not autoimmune. It's a simple infection on top of a nutritional deficiency. So we figured that one out too. Rheumatoid arthritis is one of the easiest diseases to get rid of and prevent.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, for that. So, folks, if you've been labeled with something that is said to be quote unquote genetic, yeah, unless it's a birth defect because of nutritional deficiencies that happened within development within your mama's womb, yeah, it's not genetic. So, and
you
even the birth defect,
you do not want to be in the wrong womb.
well, I think, Dr. Wallach, the solution to making sure future generations don't fall into the wrong womb is to make sure that anybody and everybody of before childbearing years are on the 90 essential nutrients so that we can build a healthier world. And that is what your crusade is all about, Dr. Wallach.
That's correct. And I want to throw one more thing in here, because we're working on this very hard to get the finished information out there. We're sort of like in the middle, but we're heading the right direction. I want to talk just briefly about Parkinson's disease.
Please don't.
Huh?
Please don't.
Okay.
Thank you. So we do have a lot of people, including some that are out on, I think this is in Facebook, wanting to know if we have positive testimonials of people who have been afflicted with different conditions, and wanting to know if there are any that have testimonials using Dr. Wallach's program. Now, because of the FDA and because of regulations and because of the Direct Selling Association, there are a lot of things in place that we have to work around in order to get this information out. But if you have a positive story that you would like to share with the world, please go to dailywithdoc.com, use that contact us and send in your testimonial. Include your phone number so that we can ask some questions, so that we can put together some amazing resource that is compliant and will allow others to benefit from the positive results that you have received. Also, it's not the products, folks. We can't say that the products are what is doing the thing. It's using the formulas that Dr. Wallach has put together with his recommendations and allowing the body to do what it was designed to do. And that's not just barely survive, that is thrive. And I love the fact, Dr. Wallach, that we don't have to be stuck with a label. We don't have to be stuck with a quote unquote diagnosis of something that's out of our controls, because the body has a lot of control. But what we put in our mouth and what we don't put in our mouth affects that control. Is that correct?
It's correct.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And I didn't mean to interrupt you. And I know there's going to be people that are going to chastise me for doing so. But folks, we want to make sure that this program stays on the air and it does not get censored by platforms that are out there. So thank you, Dr. Wallach. Let's go to some hands, Dr. Wallach. And again, folks, if you are here watching live and you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we will be calling on you. If you are out in the internet world on one of these amazing platforms that either shows the whole video or the audio, and you would like to ask questions and you're on a replay, you can put some information in the comments, or you can go to our website, dailywithdoc.com, and use that contact us. Let us know who we can thank for sending you and how you heard about us. So, Dr. Wallach, let's first go to Sherry, who has her hand up. And Sherry, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Thank you so much. This is from one of our listeners and clients who has called in before. She has psoriasis, She is on the essential 90. She takes the hair, skin, and nails, the jojoba omegas, and collagen. Her psoriasis is definitely better, but it's reached a plateau. It doesn't itch anymore, but it's reached a plateau and doesn't seem to be getting, seems to have just stopped. Is there anything else she can do?
Okay, yeah, she needs to see what she's doing as far as gluten, buckwheat. Even if she's not eating gluten and buckwheat, if she lives in a household where everybody else is, and she's washing her clothes and drying her clothes at the same washer and dryer and eating at the same table and sitting on the same couch and sleeping in the same beds with them, you get cross-contamination with the gluten and the buckwheat, phagopyrines, which significantly reduce the efficiency of absorption of the nutrients. Okay, so she needs to look at the environment. If because she's seen benefit, but she's reached a plateau, not showing any more improvement. So there's something interfering there. And so she needs to check that out, check out the interference. Does she work, in a bakery? Does she work in a restaurant? Okay, and she's serving gluten to restaurant customers. And so these are the sort of things that need to be looked at. Interference with absorption, okay, and utilization, very, very important here, okay?
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, Sherry. Great question. And that's something that I myself experienced too. I was getting great results, but there were still those few things that were still hanging on. Courtney, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Wallach. Today I have a question about a female that's age 33. She's 5'2", 215 pounds, and she has the following: Hashimoto's, GERD, her gallbladder was removed. She had Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2020, but it's in remission. And her kidney levels, ESR levels, are very high, like inflammation levels. And she has thyroid issues. She's on levothyroxine for thyroid. She's been told she has an autoimmune disease. She has trouble sleeping and losing weight. And she feels better eating gluten.
She feels better eating gluten.
She always tells me that.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we can help her. She'll continue to eat gluten. Okay. But 215 pounds, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats, no buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has F-A-G-O pyrines, which are 10 times, 20 times more terrible than gluten. Got to get rid of the sugar, got to get rid of the carbonated drinks. The diet carbonated drinks got to go, as well as the carbonated water has to go, because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb nutrition and cannot digest food. Okay, cannot absorb particularly mineral nutrition. Okay, then I wanted to have 215 pounds, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month for MSM. She could take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes bone cell. And then I also want her to take, let's see here, our Ocean's Gold. I want her to take 3 of those twice a day for thyroid. It has the, let's see here, the minerals and also the seaweed from one ocean. And then we also have the Fucoid Z, which are seaweed and minerals from a different ocean. Okay, I want to have 3 of each of those twice a day: Fucoid Z and Ocean's Gold for her thyroid. Don't cold turkey off the medication. Then, now let's see here, the GERD, I want her, and her thyroid, and her gallbladder being gone, I wanted to have 3 of our ultimate enzymes, which we call the gallbladder in a bottle. For such instances here, we want her to take 3, say 5 or 10 minutes before each meal. Okay, so she could go through a couple of bottles a month. Because she has kidney issues, I want her to get 2 bottles a month, or Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support healthy kidney function, healthy blood pressure. And then to lose weight, I want her to have 1 meal a day. Doesn't have to be the same meal every day. And this is a meal replacer. This is not to add to a meal. This is a meal replacer. Our keto shake, either chocolate or vanilla, or not vanilla, excuse me, strawberry, chocolate or strawberry. And Again, she doesn't have to use the same flavor all the time. And again, doesn't have to be the same meal all the time, but it is a meal replacer. It is not to add to a meal. That's her keto shake. And she'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. So at 5'2", I'd like to see her weigh anywhere from 110 to 100, that's about right, 110 pounds, 110, 115 pounds. So she needs to lose 100 pounds. And I know literally thousands of people that we've helped lose 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. So this is not difficult, but you have to stay on the trail, stay on the rails, and it works, never fails. It's like gravity. You always know what's going to, when you're dealing with gravity. Same way with this program we just outlined, okay, for this lady, okay? Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Courtney. And Dr. Wallach, one thing that Courtney had mentioned, and I have a question out in YouTube, wanting to know about that number for kidney function and how we can go about improving that. So the protocol that you just gave covers that, right?
That's correct. That's the ultimate daily classic tablets. That's in addition to the 90 and all the other nutrients. Okay. You just can't take the one product because the kidney needs all this other stuff. Okay. Just to function. And then of course, when you have kidney issues, you want the ultimate daily classic to support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow into the kidney. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And then we have another question that has to do with cholesterol and wanting to know which of the lipoproteins is the one that indicates that there is a problem with cholesterol being too high or too low. So is it the LDL or HDL?
The lipoprotein is called cholesterol. Okay.
Yes.
And like everything else, you have a range, and let the doctor give you the range, okay, that he wants you to be at. But cholesterol levels going up tells you there's, several things missing. So your metabolism, how your body and organs deal with cholesterol that aren't working correctly because you're missing something. You need 90 essential nutrients. Okay, you just can't take one. And of course, doctors for cholesterol, they want to give you a statin drug that lowers your cholesterol. Then you're going to wind up with Parkinson's disease. You're going to wind up with all kinds of hormone problems. You're going to wind up with Alzheimer's disease. You're going to wind up with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. You're going to wind up with Lou Gehrig's disease, which is another name for it. These are all cholesterol deficiency diseases. These are all man-made problems. Now you have to appreciate that when you're looking at animals, okay, like we're dealing with big herds of deer that have something that's very similar to Parkinson's disease, okay, is CWD, chronic wasting disease, okay? And it's white matter of the brain going away. Well, the white matter of the brain, whether it's a deer or a human being or a lion or tiger or bear, is cholesterol. So where do deer get their cholesterol? They don't eat other animals. They don't eat eggs. Where are they getting their cholesterol? Their liver makes 80 to 90% of the cholesterol they need. So you have to give the liver what it needs to make the cholesterol. And so we're working on these projects for these herds of deer that have these problems by putting together the supplement programs to deal with the liver. Okay, we're talking about the Bloomin' minerals. We're talking about trace mineral salt blocks. Okay, and all these kind of things. And these are going to show very clearly. And we dealt with this when I was 2 years in Africa, working on the big herds of animals in Africa. And we were able to save the white rhino. There was only 350 back then. Because we did the same thing by providing proper food for the white rhino and attractive environments with more water. It was 350 back when I was there, which was back in 65 and 66. Okay. And today there's 21,000 because we provided everything the white rhino need. Okay. Including, go ahead.
Well, that just goes to prove that when you give, whether you're white rhino or a human,
or a deer,
what it thrive, or a deer, then situations change that allow that thriving to happen.
It is correct.
Yeah, Dr. Wallach, I just love that. And the fact that not only were you there, not only were you the lead pathologist on different programs, that you put that information into books so that we can read, and that is there for generations to come.
Yeah, and the book
Because
that came out of that, the book that came out was Rhino Express. Okay, we just, love the ability to be able to work with the people there and the animals. Okay, and then of course we have 23 other books right now. We're working on this flip chart, which is coming out soon, right, Becca?
Yes. It goes to the printer today, Dr. Wallach.
All right, very good. See, I didn't know that. I knew it was coming out soon. It's going to the printer today. Wow. Did they say when we're going to get the sample?
It's supposed to be this week.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm very excited about that because it's going to, this flip chart covers 75 years of stuff that we've done. Okay. It has a lot of famous people, actors, actresses, singers, athletes. We're talking about politicians. We're talking about wealthy people. We're talking about every kind of person you can think of, and that includes people like Theo Ratliff, okay, great basketball player, and Pat Boone, great singer, okay, and of course Danny Glover, a great comedian, and so on. Andy Young.
Clearing out the car. Those go in the other closet.
Hold on.
Car.
Okay. Sorry, somebody got unmuted. So let me go ahead and fix that. Yeah, there's lots of people, Dr. Wallach, that have been touched by taking the information that you put out there, along with the formulas that you trust in. And the beginning, you were part of the formulating of, and they got results. I mean, these older people, but also we're looking at like Jesse Modelis, who is a young Latin artist and an actor who is in there as well. So I love the fact that it didn't just help me, didn't just help the different people within my co-host crew, within my team, and within our chosen family, but folks, you give the body what it needs. You cut out the stuff that's causing the damage in the first place. If it just beautiful things happen. Let me just put it there.
Well said. Well
now,
said.
Yeah. So we have a question here wanting to know if the vagus nerve can be the cause of low blood pressure or the diastolic pressure. So is it
yes.
Vagus that's part of that?
Yes, that's part of the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve being squeezed.
Okay, so the answer is yes to that. So thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And then I have a little positive comment here from Cindy out in YouTube saying, best doctor ever for my family. He is king of all, Dr. Wall, or king of all doctors. This person is a Wallach warrior, says that you saved their life when the evil doctors kept giving her BP pill after another. You were able to help. So she thanks you. She loves you, Dr. Wallach, and she loves your books as well. Now let's go up to Aaron, who has his hand up. And Aaron, go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome, Aaron.
I was following up on my question a few weeks back in reference to weight loss. You had started me on the 90 or the keto for life with the cubes and being gluten-free and none of the bad foods. And I'm taking all the supplements on the keto program, never lost any weight. And I figured it out myself as to why I'm not. And one of the key things is potassium. You need the RDA is, 4 grams per day, and you really need probably closer to 8. And as soon as I started bumping up my potassium, I lost 8 pounds in a matter of a few hours. And the weight just continues.
Some of your weight was due to fluid accumulation. Yeah. You lose that much weight in just a few days, you're talking about fluid.
Few hours.
Yeah, well, they're definitely talking about fluid. Thank you for sharing.
I'm kind of curious. I'm like, well, goodness, what's going on? Because I was taking, at least 3 or 4 grams of potassium a day, and I bumped it up, and all of a sudden, poof, the weight falls off.
Hey, thanks for sharing.
But I
Yeah,
don't see that anywhere in the program or any in the longevity supplements is potassium. It seems like that's missing.
No, no, it's not missing. It's in there. Potassium's in there.
yeah, there's quite a bit of potassium, but the fact that you as an individual needed additional potassium, that's fantastic that you were able to identify that. So,
Yep. But yeah, when you talk about our 75 plant-derived colloidal minerals, you talk about a healthy brain and heart pack, you talk about a healthy start pack, you talk about a rebound, there's potassium in all those things. And so there's a reason why you needed more potassium. There's something else going on in your liver, your kidneys, something that had to do with fluid. And once you hit that, you lose 8 pounds in a day. That is definitely a fluid loss.
Gotcha. I guess there's nothing to be concerned about. Just keep the course, and body needed something.
Yep. Well, thanks for sharing.
all right, thank you, Aaron. And let's go over to Ruth Ellen. Ruth Ellen, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello there. I am holding my hand up for Douglas because he isn't unable to raise his virtual hand. So I'm going to spotlight you, Douglas, and I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can talk to Dr. Wallach.
He's muted.
Give him a second. I can't hear you.
Oh, I see his lips moving, but I don't. Yeah,
Oh,
there's no sound
Here-
coming
here
through.
you go.
Douglas.
Wait, give him a
hello?
second. There you
Now.
go. Good job. Thank you. Go
Hi.
ahead.
Yes, my mom is 88. She's in the hospital today. And they said she has calcium around the heart and she has AFib. And they're talking like, we might have to call hospice in, and because they don't want to do open heart surgery at 88. So I'm, in tears over here.
Okay, how much does she weigh?
185.
Okay, well, AFib has to do with the osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which is the vagus nerve, which controls the rate and rhythm of the heart. It's very simple. She needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and carbonated water. Okay, because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb and digest food and absorb minerals. And then you say 185 pounds, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And then I want her to have the ultimate, let's see here, the collagen peptides. She needs to scoop of that with her morning drink, scoop with her evening drink. I also want her to have, let's see here, vitamin D3. She needs 3 of those twice a day, vitamin D3. Okay. I also want her to have our bone building, see, it's the bone building formula. Is that right? Bone building formula?
Yes, bone building formula.
I want her to take 3 of those twice a day, bone building formula. That'll work miracles in her situation. Okay. And she can also have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. She can take 3 of those twice a day. That'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. But no ablation, none of that kind of stuff. Those will be deadly for her age at 88. Okay, that has the highest death rate of any medical treatment is ablation for AFib. Don't do it.
Ablation, okay.
Yeah, no ablation. Okay, we'll start there. I mean, that's a lot for her to do, but that's what's going to take for her to survive this. And of course, people in Hunza, their life expectancy is 120. They live to be 120. They don't have a single medical doctor.
Okay.
They live to be 120 because they have the land flowing with milk and honey. It's the glacial milk, not cow's milk, not goat's milk, not camel milk, not llama milk. okay, glacial milk coming down from the mountains, which they drink. They make their food with it. They make their wine with it. They actually fertilize, not fertilize, but irrigate their gardens and their fields with it. So we're getting all these minerals coming down from the mountains, the Himalayan mountains. And this is, and you go to the Old Testament, the Old Bible, there's 21 stories of long-lived people who are living, like, let's see here. Adam lived to be 930, Noah lived to be 950, Methuselah lived to be 969. There were many, many angels running around telling God's story. They lived to be 800, 700, 600, because they were drinking the glacial milk, minerals. There's unimpeachable evidence. Okay. And they had 21 stories like that. And they had 100 mentions of the land flowing with milk and honey in the Bible. So they didn't have the knowledge how to do all kinds of experimental stuff on that glacial milk. Okay, so they didn't know it was ground up rocks. They just knew it looked like milk, so they called it glacial milk. They didn't call it glacial milk. I'm sorry, they called it the land flowing with milk and honey. And but it was minerals. Okay, and so this is still true today as it was back then, 3,000 years ago. So I hope that helps you out.
You got muted again, Douglas.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, he talked pretty quickly. I didn't get everything that he said with the tape.
So go to dailywithdoc.com and
Okay.
you click on that contact and send me a quick email and I'll send a reply with what he recommended. I put it on here.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you. You guys are a blessing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Something else, Douglas, which is actually fastest. On your phone there, click on it. You'll see at the bottom it says chat. Click on chat and Marilyn has put it in the chat.
Oh,
So
awesome.
you can take a screenshot of that, get back with the person that the distributor or associate or coach that you're working with, and they can help you get that for her. Okay.
Great, great. Did he want to say anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. God bless you.
God bless you, sir. So you got to take care of mom.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Douglas, for coming on.
Thank
All
you.
right. Dr. Wallach, so we have a question out on YouTube, and this individual, I don't know if it's male or female, but they all of a sudden had red boils show up on their shoulders and back. They suddenly appeared. So something's trying to get out of their body, Dr. Wallach. What would be anything that you can say about red boils that just automatically or suddenly appear in an adult?
Well, she needs to go to a skin doctor and have him look at it and see what it is. Okay. And so that's go there. But they need to get rid of all the bad foods and take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight, per day. A full dose, if they weigh 150 pounds, it goes 2 doses a day of the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Then they need the, let's see here, the hair, skin, and nails, 3 of those 3 times a day. Okay, it'd be 2 bottles a month of the hair, skin, and nails. And then they need the MSM, which gives collagen, which the skin is made out of. Okay, so 3 of those 3 times a day would be 2 bottles a month of the MSM. And doesn't hurt until you know if it's infectious or not. It wouldn't hurt for her to also have 2 droppers full of our colloidal silver, which tastes like water. There's no alcohol in it, doesn't burn. And she can just put 2 droppers full under her tongue, say 5 or 10 minutes for breakfast, 5 or 10 minutes for lunch, and 5 or 10 minutes for dinner time, and then 5 or 10 minutes for bedtime. Okay. And there's no alcohol in it. So she can even put some of this right on the red boils because we don't know if they're infectious or not, or if it's a vascular thing. We don't know. She needs to go see a skin doctor and find out what it is.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And Jose wants to know, what are your recommendations for somebody that has low vitamin D?
B or D?
D as in dog, David, doctor.
Well, that's very simple. You take the 90 essential nutrients, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and then you take our vitamin D3. Take 3 of those 2 or 3 times a day. They come in nice little bottles. You probably take 2 bottles a month. So you take 3 of the vitamin D3 twice a day. But that's in addition to the 90. Don't fall into that trap where, well, My doctor says I need some vitamin D3, so I'm just gonna take some vitamin D3. Well, what about the other 89 nutrients? Okay, you need to take them all.
And then Brenda Teresa is asking a question. Just today, she was diagnosed by her dentist with periodontal gum disease. Is there anything that can be done for that?
Okay, well, gum disease can be due to osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, and when you have osteoporosis of the skull will actually get bigger and thicker, and it'll tear and shred the gums. Okay, which can't keep up with the growth of the bones. Okay, and so she needs the 90 essential nutrients, get rid of all the bad foods, and so she can maintain her bones all over the body, because you don't just get problems in your jaw. Okay, when you have problems in your jaw, you got bone problems, you have osteoporosis and arthritis in every bone in your body. Okay, so she needs to per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. Per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle of the MSM, so you take 3 twice a day. Collagen peptides, let's go with that with morning drink, so the evening drink. And then again, let's see here. I would do again the colloidal silver to prevent any infections. It's a bad place to have tears and wounds in your mouth. 2 droppers full under the tongue, say when they wake up, 5 minutes before breakfast, 5 minutes for lunch, 5 minutes for dinner, 5 minutes for bedtime. I've been doing that for I don't know how many years, 40, 50 years. Okay. And that's the reason why I haven't gotten any of these terrible viral and bacterial diseases that are killing people all over the world. Because I see people from all over the world and they run up and hug you and all that kind of stuff. And I just haven't had a problem because I take the colloidal silver. Okay. And let's see here. Let's start there.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach,
Yes.
thank you so much for being here with us today on Daily with Doc. I know you need to get to your next program. Folks, have a wonderful, wonderful, thank you, Doc. We'll see you tomorrow. But have a wonderful, wonderful week, folks. And the information that you hear today, you're not hearing it just to hear it. You're hearing it because there's action that needs to be taken either in your own life or in the life of somebody that you know and care about. So please share this program with somebody else today. If not just one, many. And we are actually thanking you for doing that. If you go to dwdgiveaway.com, that's dwdgiveaway.com, you will be able to enter in our drawing where I will be sharing some of the longevity products with the people that share the most. So please go to dwdgiveaway.com, enter in our drawing, share on your favorite platforms, and earn points that allow you to be able to earn free products. So if I could get my co-hosts on with me, that would be absolutely fantastic, because I could not do this without them. We have Ruth Ellen, who is my executive production manager, who puts this all together, helps organize all of us, and gets the streams set up with the help of AJ, who also does that and is getting us onto even more and more platforms where people are going for information. And then we have Coach Rod, who is learning how to do the same thing and helping with that, and also out on the different platforms and helping to bring in those questions. So is AJ, so is Ruth Ellen. And we have Sherry, who is also helping with that. I mean, we all help because there's so much going on with all the different platforms and all the things moving around. I didn't even get to the bottom of today's chat in the Zoom room. It's just absolutely fantastic that we have so many people that are waking up and wanting to know the information that allows them to be able to help themselves. And we have Marilyn, who is doing the dictation, as I mentioned to Douglas. If you open up that chat when you're here live with us, you will see what Dr. Wallach is recommending for the different individuals. You can take a screenshot, snapshot, however you want to do it, of that recommendation and then take it to your coach, the person that shared this program with you, or the person that you have been working with who told you about Dr. Wallach or longevity or this program. Okay, we want to make sure that because we are a resource for an amazing community, that we are getting those people back to the person responsible for sharing this program with them. And we also have Albert, who is coming to us from way, way, way down south in South Africa, and sharing this message there as well and helping people get into the Zoom room. So thank you to all of my crew. I appreciate you. Like I said, I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing. I love you. You are family. And all of those that are here in the Zoom room and watching these programs, we welcome you into this family. No matter where you're at, no matter what stage of health you're at, if you are looking for a family, somewhere that you can feel that you belong and have talents that you want to contribute, then get back with the person that shared this program with you. Whether you're coming to us and coming into our family just as somebody that benefits from the use of Dr. Wallach's recommendations, or you want to get involved and help share these recommendations and make an impact in your own family and community, together we will make an impact around the world. Again, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If you're interested, we have an amazing coaching program that is offered by the Institute of Holistic Health that teaches you about the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies, and then using the longevity products towards solutions. Now, again, like I've mentioned a couple times in the show, the products are not what's preventing, treating, curing. It's the body. The products are just the raw ingredients that the body needs to be able to do what it was designed to do. So go to coachwithdoc.com if you're interested in that program, where you too can learn for yourself or to build a business. My name is Becca Dukes. Thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Again, go to dailywithdoc.com. You will find replays from the Daily with Doc, Ask Doc Live, Ask Doc Daily, and Q&A with Pharmacist Ben. They're on our website, and also the Good Foods, Bad Foods list, and Contact Us. So until next time, bye for now.